Hello, it's Monday, so it's time for Stone Thug and Ask the Smartest Man in the World Anything. Hello, it's a new week. I want to say hello to you. I am Stone Thug, and I'm here to answer your questions. And this is the show. Welcome to all our new viewers. Ask the Smartest Man in the World Anything you like. We have some great questions that have come in through different forms of the media that is out there, and from different avenues, and we just want to say thank you for all your questions. I'm very interested in having a close relationship with those of you who care to have one by submitting questions and things of that nature. I want to say thank you for the gifts. Those of you who like to write and send gifts, things of that nature, that's great. If you send something nice, or if you request one of my CDs, music CDs that is, or one of my the books, I will sign it for you. And if you send a donation of $20, I will send that to you signed, and that's all postage paid and everything. So I just want to get that out the way and say thank you very much. We also have Stone Thug t-shirts and things of that nature, but you can get those online simply by Googling Stone Thug. And of course, all my music, poems, all that kind of stuff, you can get online. You can also purchase through CD Babies, iTunes, Amazon, and different forms of media out there. So thank you so much. I want to say thanks again. Anyway, I didn't finish last week, I guess it was, when I was speaking on the difference between black holes and white holes. And these are dealing with subject matters of the cosmos, astrophysics of that, things of that nature. As a lot of you know, I've spoke about it before, that my interest in the various sciences, primarily, I'm an advocate of the green movement. I believe in green home development, and just everything dealing with nature working with people in the same sort of surroundings, pretty much like those Native Americans try to live and still try to live on occasion when they can. We're not running those casinos, but there's something to be said about nature and being one with nature. I'm very much interested in the Venus Project, and Jacques Cousteau, Jacques, who is the head of the Venus Project, and his wife. Those people, what they're trying to do, I believe in projects of that nature. Also, I'm very much interested in what Bill Gates is trying to do with recycling of dispense radioactive materials. So those are my primary interests. So those of you who are interested in knowing more about me and my primary interests, those are those things. So that's Jacques Fresco. Okay, Fresco, and he is a gentleman who I follow. A lot of you follow me for information and knowledge, and you want to ask the smartest man in the world a question. But one of the people who I admire and I try to follow is Jacques Fresco, and I think that he's one of the most brilliant minds in the world. And I respect him for a lot of different reasons. But one of the primary reasons is I respect people who use their gifts as a scientist, or as an archaeologist, or as a historian or mathematician. When you use your gifts to help humanity, that's I have the utmost respect for people of that nature. So if you don't know about it, make yourself familiar with the Venus Project and Mr. Fresco and his family. I think you'll find it fascinating. And if you have a lot of money and a lot of time, and you're smart like myself, you might want to take a look at what Bill Gates is doing with dispense radioactive waste material. I think that is definitely the future. It's going to have opposition with that, even though he's one of the richest men in the world and off and on is the richest man in the world. But when you're dealing with, helping humanity and trying to take away monies from the utility companies, you just met with opposition. Man, that's not the way they're built. It's not their interest. They're not really interested in helping their fellow man. They're interested in getting more money. I don't know why. I really can't conceivably understand why people would want more money when you have more money than you can possibly spend. So, but that's them. Anyway, this is Axe, the smartest man in the world. And I'm going to start by answering your questions. Again, I will not mention your names because some of your names are extremely difficult. And I'm not very good at pronouncing the names, so please forgive me. And I'll just answer the questions as I do always. Okay, so first question. Do I believe that the universe is endless? Someone asked me here on YouTube. And yes, I believe it's endless. I believe it's endless as far as man's knowledge of endless is concerned. So that's all I have to say about that. Not being a god, but just the smartest man in the world. I can't go to the ends of the universe, the known galaxy, and, tell you what's there. I just believe it goes on forever. All right, next question. Okay, I answered that question last time. You have to check. This is number 6, so if you go back and check number 1 through 6, you can have a lot of these other questions already answered. So, folks, you have to come on, freshen up with these questions. You can give me something harder than that. Okay, next question. Someone asked, they think I just know big words and that I'm not very, not the smartest man in the world. Okay, they didn't say they think I was smart, because that would be ludicrous. But, okay, I know big words. That's possibly true. I do know some big words, and I mispronounce many of those, as I do some of your names. So I have to agree with that person there. But that would not make you the smartest man in the world. You can't measure one's intelligence by their pronunciation of one's language. I speak about 4 different languages, and I'm far behind the rest of the world in terms of different languages some people speak. And but even that in itself doesn't make me the smartest man in the world. I am, because I am the smartest man in the world. We have to look at creativity and stuff of that nature, so that's pretty much how we're determining. Okay, next question. Do I think I am smarter than Chris so-and-so, who claims to be the smartest man in the world? It's a fellow by the name of Chris. His last name escapes me right now, as most names do. But he is known as the smartest man in the world. I have seen this gentleman, and I think that he's a very humble man, and I actually like him. I've seen a few of his videos, and I've heard different reports about him. I think he's a very smart man, but I don't think he's ever claimed to be the smartest man in the world. He is much humbler than I am, and I think that they have labeled him because of a test he took at Oxford or Harvard, and because of that test, they labeled him the smartest man in the world, and I think it just sort of stuck because of some Newton's equations or something he answered and some other stuff. So, they like to put that on people, but there's only one smartest man in the world, and I claim to be the smartest man in the world. So there's a difference. So Chris is a nice guy, but all right, and okay, next question. Do I think that Stephen Hawking is utilizing his intelligence to the best of his ability? Stephen Hawking, absolutely, positively, unequivocally, I do not. Trying to disprove the belief of God is elementary. Any nursery school child can tell you why there's 25 reasons why there's no God. So that's not really a worthwhile endeavor as far as I'm concerned. Do I believe in God? I've answered that question before, and I'm happy to answer it now. And of course I do. Am I contradictory because I said that Stephen Hawking a man of his ability, is going out of his way to write books and dispute the possibilities of a God? No, not contradictory. I think that a child, any child, your child, if you got one, can disprove the belief of God. That's, I mean, it's crazy. It's simple. It's easy. I don't see a God, thus there's no God. I don't feel a God. Hey God, hello. No God said anything. There's no God. So you can easily, using general standards of recognition of things, say that there's no God. To believe in God takes faith. If you have faith, it's in your heart, it's in your mind, it's in your beliefs. If you believe there is, then there is. It's kind of like what we call in science theoretical physics. And through theoretical physics, or you can almost imagine certain things into creativeness. Certain creativeness is developed through believing and researching and finding certain particles or aspects of science that support one's thinking. Can you do that with God? I don't think so. Going back to that Chris fella, he's trying to prove that in some of his theories. Good luck with that. I don't necessarily think you can do that. And they were talking about this God gene, or God particle, should I say, that they want to disprove God wouldn't prove that man, or prove the understanding that life and nature developed on its own because of various cosmo changes from the Big Bang. But I don't necessarily think that you can prove, and ever could prove, or ever will be able to prove, that there's a God. It's just one's concept of belief. If you believe that, then that's what you believe. I happen to believe that there is a God, and I happen to believe that Stephen Hawking is wasting his time writing books of that nature, or even dealing with the various particles that he deals with. I think that one should use your endeavors to better the lives of mankind, help everyone to be fed and housed and protected and nurtured and encouraged to reach their fullest potential in whatever field that might be. So I don't necessarily agree with what he does, but it's America and you do what you want to do. Okay, do I have another question? Somebody would ask me, how do I find a good girl? So I'm assuming you're looking for a date. Why would you ask me about finding a good girl? But I said you can ask me anything, so occasionally I get this question. So I think a good woman is a woman who gives you her money. And when you say, come here, she comes. And when you say, do this, she does it. You don't get any better than that. Now, good luck trying to find it. But on a more serious note, I think if you need help, somebody who extends to you, someone who tries to, listen to your point of view, someone who's trying to be understanding to your thoughts, your concerns, I think that's a good person, a good friend, female or male. But if you can find a woman who is willing to listen to you and be understanding and can help you out when you need a nickel, well, that's a prize worth having. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. I think that's going to be it. So if you have questions or if you have concerns, please, by all means, send us an email or just give us the question through any of the mediums, and we'll be glad to answer those questions on the next Ask the Smartest Man in the World. Anything. And I'll be happy to answer it. Okay. Ask the smartest man in the world, and I'll be happy to answer you. Ask the smartest man in the world. Yeah. And I'll be happy to answer you. Oh, 1 and 1 is 2. And 2 and 2 is 4. 4 plus 4, it's much more than even I can adore. Oh, so ask the smartest man in the world. Yeah. And I will answer you. Just ask. Just ask. Just ask. The smartest man in the world. Yeah.